Hey everyone, what's been here at the battle report? So in case you haven't noticed the last battle report and this one, my voice is really messed up. I'm pretty much about to lose it, so forgive the weird sound. Yeah, so this is the same list I used last time. This game was actually played the same night as my last battle report. I'm facing uh, what in essence are my Empire models with some of my, I guess, my Bretonnian models helping out. This is a guy who's new to Warhammer Fantasy. He works in a game store, plays a lot of game systems. He's really good, very, very sound, especially considering this is one of his first 10 games played, probably. But we thought we'd go out for kind of a pseudo brawler bash practice game. I say pseudo only because we're not really playing a scenario, so there's no chance for either one of us to get the extra points. We were just going to knock things around. So starting on the left, he's got a unit of Demigryph Knights, 20 handgunners behind him. Those look like Empire Archers. They're not. They're handgunners. In his handgunner units, he has a banner as well as a champion who has a repeater handgun. He's got a unit of Inner Circle Knights with, I believe, 4 characters. He's got Marius Lightdorf, a Warrior Priest, a BSB, and a level 4 Rockin' Lore of Life. On the hill, he's got you see a questy knight there in the hill. That's actually just a captain who's as naked as I've seen a character. He's got light armor and then an extra hand weapon. So he's a 5-up armor save, which I didn't realize, or else I'd probably would have shot my bowman at him all game long. Then he's got what looks like a cannon and a hellblaster. Those are actually 2 hellblasters, and each one of them has a master engineer attached. So that is a lot of anti-knight shooting right there in the middle of the table. He's got a steam tank, another of his lone captains, some what look like old wood elf models painted to be Bretonnian peasants, which are actually handgunners. And then on the right hand side, what looks like Pegasus Knights, which are actually Demigryph Knights. And then I'm using my Hurricane model as a second steam tank. So, mistake number 1 in the game, I threw my war machines here in the corner, absolutely not thinking anything at all. But first off, there's no reason not to have at least 6 inches between your trebuchets, so that if one dies or blows up or something, it doesn't cause a panic test in the other one. And this is just a silly mistake. And 2, going against somebody who has 2 steam tanks and can shoot at these guys, it would make more sense to put my bowmen in front so that they can set up their fence, which stops the cannonball. So anyway, I set it up like that. I set up 2 Knight of the Realm units. I just have tons of characters in this list. So on the right is my Banner of Eternal Flame, and that has 1 character. He looks like the Green Knight. He's got if against things Strength 5 or better, he gets to reroll hits and wounds, and against Toughness 5 or better, every wound that goes, he gets +1 Strength, and every wound that goes through does D3. Then I've got my Standard of Discipline unit with my General, who's my typical build with the Virtue of Heroism. I've got my BSB. I've got one of my cheap redirecting paladins in with this unit. In hindsight, that's a mistake too. He should have been out of the unit so he could feel free to charge and not stop that unit from charging. I've got my 69 men-at-arms with the Lore of 2 Beast, level 2 Beast. In front of them, cheap unit of 5 Knights Errant. And then I have another unit of Knight of the Realm. This is Banner of Swiftness with a Paladin that gives them an extra D6. So these guys can really leap out there and get the charge. Another unit of Bowman. Obviously, I pray he goes first and moves like that. Yeah, if it wasn't for his redirectors, I think my unit on the left could have charged his general's unit and would have had a decent chance of breaking him. But of course, with their hold the line rule, that might be tough. But probably would have been a chance I would have taken. But anyway, he throws his redirectors out there. It looks like that. He shoots a steam tank. Now, the way that it's been FAQ'd in our region is that steam tanks can shoot at a 45-degree angle. I used to play it, they had to shoot in a straight line. So anyway, one of them tilted this way, shot at that angle, and killed a trebuchet, panicked the archers are out of the table, and panicked the other trebuchet so it can't shoot this turn. Fantastic. Way to go, OB. So, Bretonnia turn 1. Yeah, so my fast unit on the left charges Demigryphs. I should be able to win that. It's tough to get wounds through him, and it's actually not that tough for him to get wounds on me. Those things are Strength 5 armor piercing, so I basically have a 5-up, 5-up against a bunch of attacks. But historically, I've had a lot of success with Bretonnian lances against Demigryph Knights just because of all the static combat res. My cheap Knights Errant charge one of his redirectors. I charge my one of my paladins out of my general's unit into the other redirector just to get rid of them. Move up my men-at-arms as fast as I can. My knights on the right, I wanted to move up further, but I couldn't take the chance of him getting 2 steam tanks plowing into me, even if I got heroic killing blow on both, which is unlikely. 2d6 plus 6d3 impact hits. I would just absolutely. It's actually kind of funny to think about. Just absolutely annihilate a unit. So after combat, it looks like this. Yeah, so I did the left combat first. I was really hoping I would beat the demigryphs and overrun into those handgunners. It would have swung me around a little bit, and we would have had combat in his turn, and then on my next, I could have reformed and just it would have been fan freaking tastic. But I just didn't overrun very far. So the knights errant, when they killed his captain, I had to overrun into the face of that knight unit so that it didn't plow into the flank of my unit on the left. Look at the bottom right. So I've got a character with a lance, a 2-up armor save, and in essence a 6-up ward against his guy, which has a 5-up armor save and nothing else. I do no wounds to him. He does 1 wound to me. Are you kidding me? Empire turn 2, it looks like this. So his steam tanks don't do a whole lot. I think one of them misfired or whatever when he went to get steam points. Demigryphs that look like peg knights charge the flank of my my paladin, and his knight unit moves up. Or no, it didn't. Not knight unit's fighting my knights errant. I'm sorry. Anyway, so it looks like that. And holy cow, yeah, that's what 2 Hellblasters with Master Engineers and 20 handgunners do to a unit of knights. And in all honesty, I feel really, really lucky that I have all those guys left. My characters took no wounds except for my prophetess, who took a single wound, and that unit has 2 knights left. They should just be erased. It is a crazy amount of firepower, and I think he might have thrown a steam tank cannonball through there for good measure. Let's see over here. He shoots his handgunners at this unit of knights, kills 3. Not nearly enough for his purposes. And yeah, his knights just killed my knights errant. I'm not sure how that happened. I know Marius Lightdorf has like, I think my opponent was playing him as having 4 attacks because he has a rune fang and he also has a hand weapon. But I didn't realize that was what he was doing. I think he played that wrong. The guy only has 3 attacks. But anyway, he hit on a bunch. They automatically wounded, no armor save. So I think he went a long way towards erasing that unit of Knights Errant. Anyway, so he takes his Knight unit and just reforms him. I'm not sure if that's a great move because if I charge his handgunners and break him, I'm very likely going to get out of his line of sight. He probably should have turned him a little more if that's what he wanted to do. I think I would have ignored him, let the demigryphs charge that unit because you never know, and gone after my general's unit, but that's just me. I lift from the lower right. My captain is dead. My paladin. So Bretonnia turn 2. Yeah, on the far left, my knights charge the handgunners. My men-at-arms charge. They actually charged the captain first. He fled. He's on the hill right next to a Hellblaster. Then they redirect into the demigryph knights. Normally I wouldn't do that because demigryphs are just infantry killers, so I don't really expect to do a whole lot there. I think we're just going to stick around for a while, but I do have a 5-up ward against his demis because he's strength 5, so that helps, and I always have the chance of getting Weisson's Wild Form or a Transformation of Kanan or something like that. The bad news is my general's unit tried to charge a steam tank and failed the charge. That's really bad because he's going to light me up with 2 Hellblasters and 20 handgunners, and I'm going to lose my general, my BSB, and my prophetess. But the fact of the matter is, even if I had made the charge, if I killed the steam tank, he still would have been able to shoot at me with all that stuff. Arguably, one of the Hellblasters might have had hard cover because the other Hellblaster would have been in the way, and the handgunners wouldn't be able to shoot at me. So I would have been a little bit better position, but probably was going to die no matter what. Yeah, so just really didn't have a lot of great options there. Knights on the right with my Green Knight Lord level fighting character. Charges steam tank on the right. He doesn't have a heroic killing blow, but I think he should be able to kill that thing within 2 or 3 rounds of combat. The hardest part is getting past his armor save because I'm only strength 5. He's going to have a 3-up armor save. If I get past it, it's D3 wounds, and I'm re-rolling to hit and to wound, so I should be able to kill it pretty soon. There we go. I was so excited about I don't know what, just all those men at arms. I think it just looks awesome. And after combat, are you kidding me? So the knights go into the handgunners, easily win, of course. I break them, and my opponent has to take a panic test on his big unit of knights, and he's on a 9 or 10 re-rollable, and he fails it. He's real lucky he didn't run off the table. If he had, I would have just told him to stop an inch away because that just would have been game. And then it ran through both of his Hellblasters, and they both failed their panic. One of his engineers failed his panic, and he ran to the right because he had to run away from the nearest enemy unit, which is this unit on the left. So he went from being in just an ideal... Well, his knights were not in an ideal situation because they weren't going to be able to see anything to charge it, but he had two Hellblasters ready to kill my general, my BSB, and my prophetess, and they both failed their panic. Oh, gosh. Wow. Yeah, so over here it looks like that. Yeah, I'm losing a few. I may have done a wound to him, whatever. You can see I put Weiss's Wild Form on my general's unit, just trying to save them. Anything I can to try to save them from getting just absolutely killed. So Empire turn 3. His Demigryphs in the top left charge my knight's unit in the flank. That's not going to go well for me. I will be steadfast, though. I have that going for me. His steam tank plows into the flank of my unit on the right. It's going to deplete that unit. On my next turn, I could charge my general in there and try to get heroic killing blow, but the problem is if I get it and he dies, then he opens up with his Hellblasters on me. I can't have that. So I think my general's unit is just going to have to charge with Hellblasters, and it's just an awful waste of resources. Yeah, so there's that. The good news is he only has 3. Bad news is I'm not going to be able to wound him no matter what. Yeah, everybody rallies here, so that's nice for him. And there's that. So after shooting, he puts a wound on a character and kills another knight, and that's it. Now again, his Hellblasters were not shooting; they had panicked. So this is just his handgunners with a +2 cover save because the steam tank's in the way, and even with that, he still snuck a wound through. And after combat, look at the men-at-arms. I'm so excited. So my level 2 damsel got killed. I mean, the Demigryphs just targeted her and killed her, I think, last round of combat. But look at this. He just kind of fluffed some rolls. I made some ward saves. One through static combat res, broke them, and they ran him down. Swift Stride be damned. Men-at-arms. Yeah, that's just fantastic. They might have almost got their points back right there. If you look on the right, that knight unit is totally depleted. Just all those impact hits really, really hurts. I'm whittling away at that steam tank in the front, but just not doing enough. Over here, I think he whiffed his attack some. He only killed a few knights. I passed my steadfast and passed my reform test, turned to face him. I'm hoping just to hold things up here for a while, but I'm not very optimistic. Demigryphs do just fine at killing knights. Bretonnian turn 3. Yeah, I mean, what am I going to do? My general's unit charges 1 Hellblaster. I should kill it, and then I can overrun into the second Hellblaster, so at least there's that. The way he reformed his knights, they're facing my knights on the left, but I think that's overkill because I think the Demigryphs can handle them. But then again, my unit beat his Demigryphs earlier in the game. Maybe that's what he was thinking. Otherwise, everything is like that. Yeah, my bowman opened up against his captain. I think this is where I realized he only had a 5-up armor save. So, yeah, he's dead. After combat, yeah, he killed a lot more this time. Now I know next round of combat, he's going to win, but at least it'll be on his turn, which is better than him winning on my turn. Finally kill the steam tank over here, and then I reform. One thing that helped me is I had Weiss's Wild Form, so I was actually strength 6 with my character, so the steam tank's armor save went to a 4-up, so I was able to sneak wounds through a little bit easier, and then on my D3 I rolled some 3s. So let's hope I can repeat it. And yeah, so in combat with his other Hellblaster, he casts Dwellers below him and Men-at-Arms and takes out half the unit. Usually I make fun of that, saying, yeah, you're killing peasants, who cares? But this unit is now nothing to nothing to be afraid of. And after combat here, yeah, I think he only kills a knight. He's sticking around. And combat on the top left. Yeah, the only thing left is my paladin that was with that unit, and my paladin got away. My general's unit easily beat the second Hellblaster, but again, this was his turn, So I was able to reform, and now I can charge the handgunners and again get out of line of sight of his knight unit. His knight unit is back behind the hill doing nothing because he keeps on reforming them based on where things are now instead of based on where things are going to be. So that might be a little bit frustrating for him. My turn, general's unit charges the handgunners. Men-at-arms get in a bus formation. They're not going to do anything. Paladin on the left rallies. After combat, yeah, I beat the handgunners but can't run them down. Swift Stride is not really impacting this game much. Steam Tank's still alive. That's not good. And this is Bretonnian turn 4, but I'm pretty sure this is Empire turn 5 after the grinding. He grinds the rest of that unit down, and I'm down to just my character. I think he's down to 6 wounds left, and so now if I don't kill him on real soon, he's going to grind my Green Knight character to death. Over here, I think the Demis. I forgot who charged what. I think his knight unit charged my men-at-arms, and I fled and got away. The Demis charged my bowman, and I just fled, and he caught him, and I didn't care. I've 7 hours of game playing by this point, and I'm just trying to speed things up. Handgunners rally, looks like that. Bretonnian turn 5. Yeah, so I charged my battle standard bearer out of my general's unit into the handgunners because I felt that's all it really needed. I think he can take them on. Those guys will be steadfast, but there's no reroll. The leadership isn't that great. I took all my character. I have 1 remaining knight, so he's just trying to get away from his 2 master engineers, which they just have, I think, repeater handguns, but they're actually putting wounds on me. Yeah, so my general just kind of gets where he is. My prophetess is trying to get away. Everything looks like you can see it. Now, this is kind of a mistake I'm making because I'm playing it trying to conserve points, but in this tournament, it doesn't matter if you conserve points. It matters how much you kill. So I probably should have left my fighty characters up near his lines and just done a suicide charge, tried to kill a character or 2, and let him kill my guy. Because, again, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. It just matters how much you kill. I'll learn one of these days. There's that. Yeah, there's Brave Sir Robin charging in. And during the magic phase, I get Savage Beast of Horus off, so now I'm just going to tear that steam tank up. The BSB beats the handgunners. I pursue him at a really weird angle because I was all the way to the left, which took me to the woods. I almost died to a dangerous terrain. Thankfully, I passed it. And he is like that. Luckily, now he's getting a cover save, so when his master engineers shoot at him, he might just survive. Empire turn 6. His Demis charge my men-at-arms. They've got Weissens up. I'm hoping they can hold. They've already beat 1 unit of Demigriffs. His knight unit charges my paladin, and I flee. And he fails the charge. And then, yeah, with this up, I made short work of the steam tank. Again, if I had half a brain on Bretonnian turn 6, I would charge both these lord level characters at his knight unit. I would 6 dice Savage Beast of Horus on the big version, and I might have been able to get some points there, but I was tired and I just frankly didn't care. The men-at-arms lost, but he didn't run him down. That's 3 times this game that Swift Stride couldn't catch infantry, and otherwise everything is left like that. So if this were the tournament, it would have been a decent game for both of us. I think he killed 300 points more than I did, so if we were counting win-loss draw, he would have won it and I would have lost, and that's with him failing that crucial panic test. I just really felt this was in hindsight now reviewing the game, I think there's several things I needed to have done differently. But I really felt like it was just a horrible matchup in the center of the table with his 2 Hellblasters. They could eat a unit of knights a turn. And he had those cheap redirectors to hold me back, so there's not a whole lot I could do. But, yeah, so that was it. I think the next go-round I'm going to try an Empire build to see if I like it better than this Bretonnia build for this tournament. But anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it.